If you have a great Equifax credit score and you are trying to get a credit card that pulls Equifax, I want you to listen to this show right now because I want to share with you that our top 10 hacks that will help you no matter what. It doesn't matter whether you have a low FICO score or a high FICO score, as long as the credit card issuer is pulling from Equifax. I want you to really follow the following steps. The first thing you got to really do here is to actually restrain yourself, right? Do not apply for too many credit cards at once. It doesn't matter if those credit cards are pulling Equifax or pulling TransUnion or Experian. The whole thing here is you have to be strategic, okay? It's all about it's not about quantity, it's about quality, okay? You want to actually zero in on that one card or that two, or like one or two credit cards that pull Equifax, and you want to wait for the right moment. And I'll talk to you a little bit about the timing. Timing is really important because, see, every time you apply for a credit card, you have what? A hard pull. You have a hard inquiry, and that hard inquiry results in a 10 or 15 or 20 point ding in your Equifax credit score. And this is not just your Equifax credit score, but since we are talking today about Equifax, I want to focus on your Equifax credit score. So it's really important to preserve your Equifax FICO score as high as possible. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here, and make yourself comfortable. You know, mi casa, tu casa. We're just trying to have a good time now. And so the first hack I want to talk to you here is not applying for too many credit cards at once. The second thing I want you to do here is to actually know exactly what's in your Equifax credit score. Like, not credit score, Equifax credit reports. So what you want to do here is you want to contact the annualcreditreport.com. You want to go into that website so you have a clear idea of what's in there. Okay. I mean, you could probably you'll be thinking, listen, I'm around 850. You know, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm around 800. I'm bowling. I'm just like, super. I have a high FICO score. And then you realize, once you really dig deeper, you realize that, hey, listen, the numbers are painting a different picture. So don't be surprised, okay? Don't be sorry. It's just a lot better to have assurance of your exact numbers. So check your Equifax credit score right now. You want to ascertain, you want to double check and make sure that whatever number you think you have is actually what you have. The third thing I want you to do, boss, here is to apply for the credit cards that fit your credit score. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. And I want to talk to you today that today's topic is very simple. We were talking about personal credit cards that pull Equifax. I'm giving you the top 10 hacks that you can actually use today to get as high a limit as possible. Number one, do not apply for too many credit cards at once. Number two, you want to know what's in your credit reports. Very important, okay? And number three, apply only for the credit cards that fits your credit score. Now, you might be asking a question which is relevant. How do I know the credit score that a specific credit card is asking for? Well, it's just a lot better to contact the institution. You can either watch shows like this, you can read some articles online, and we know there are some credit cards that pull Equifax that have been known for years to approve, let's say, applicants in a certain category or in a certain bracket when it comes to credit score. So what I'm trying to see is that you can contact the bank, just ask them or go to a branch and say, listen, here is my Equifax credit score. I know that you guys pull Equifax, and I want to know if I stand a chance of qualifying at all for this credit card. There's nothing wrong about when it comes to asking. Okay, so because the last thing you want is to have a fair FICO score on your Equifax and apply for a credit card that requires an excellent credit score. You're going to be denied, that's for sure, but you are going to lose 10 or 15 or 20 points off your credit score, something you could have actually avoided really fast. So another way to actually avoid that is to actually look for pre-qual, trying to see if you can pre-qualify for the card. That way, based on your credit score, whether or not you stand a chance or even qualify for this credit card in the first place. So this is kind of cool. And so if you don't have time to call the bank or go to a branch and have a conversation with the rep, then try the pre-qual tool if the bank does have such a tool on their website. Most banks do have it, from American Express to Chase to Wells Fargo to Bank of America. They have a to Discover, by the way, a pre-qual tool on their website. The next thing I want you to do, boss, is if you want to increase your odds of getting a massive limit on your Equifax credit score the next time you apply, I want you to really be in a situation where you pay your bills on time. I know you have heard this advice many times, like many times in the past, but my advice, my piece of advice is a little different. When we talk about paying your bills on time, we're speaking about actually paying your bills several times in the month. Like you probably are thinking, listen, I'm just going to make my payments on the 24th or the 25th of the month. What I'm telling you here is I'm just saying, hey, listen, you want to pay on the 3rd, on the 10th, on the 15th, on the 20th, on the 25th. Like you basically are increasing the number of times you actually pay your bills, and everything must be automated. Don't try to do things manually. You'll be wasting your time like crazy big time. So you want to do things automatically. You want to set things up like automatic payments through your bank account. Okay. And if you happen to have like if you have the same account at the bank that issued the credit card in the first place, that's even better. So what I'm trying to say here is if you have, let's say, a credit card from Chase and you want to make payments on that credit card, make sure you are making the payments from a Chase bank account. Same thing for Discover Bank. Same thing for Capital One. Same thing for Wells Fargo. So at least it's a lot faster, okay? And the bank knows everything is done internally. So it's just a debits and credits. Okay, it happens real fast. And you also need to remember that your payment history accounts for 35% of your Equifax credit score, of your TransUnion credit score, of your Experian credit score. So this is not just Equifax, okay? So it's important to understand that when we talk about paying your bills on time, I'm not just talking about your credit card bills only. No, boss, no. I'm talking about the constellation of payments on all the debts you have outstanding. Everything from your mortgage payments, to your student loan payments, to your credit card payments, to your rent and utilities, okay? Those things all account for your payment history. So don't be late on any of them. If you start being late on those loans, please make sure that you contact the lender ASAP. You want to start the conversation ASAP so that they don't report your data to the credit bureaus. The next thing I want you to do, boss, is to really pay attention to your credit utilization, okay? And by the way, I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation. And I'm talking to you about the personal credit cards that pull Equifax. I'm giving you a few hacks here so you have a clear idea, you have a better idea how to handle credit cards that pull Equifax and how to actually make sure that you are working your way up the ladder in terms of the credit limits they gave you. All right. Now, it was kind of funny. The last day I was at a wedding. It was 2 Sundays ago, and we were just having a conversation with. There was one guy in the crowd, and I never met him before, and we were just talking about the importance of credit utilization, right? So he was talking to me about how his credit utilization is like I think he said 48%, but he's making a lot of money though. He said that he's bringing in like $250,000 to $500,000 every year. That he's really balling. His wife, everything is cool, but his CUR, his credit utilization ratio, is very high. So he was just walking around and he was like, yeah, my credit limit is $10,000, okay, and he was bragging about it. I was like, listen, you are making $250,000, you are making $300,000 or $400,000, $500,000, and you only have a $10,000 on your Chase credit card, and you happy about that? And he was like, what do you mean? I mean, I think this is great. I said, yeah, this is great, but you could have done better. And it's very simple. His credit utilization ratio is just too high. I mean, 40%, 50%, that's just too high. That's crazily high. Okay. So that's why, among other things, because I don't really know a lot about his financial, his finances. So I can't really comment about what happens here, but I'm sure Chase is looking at his financial situation and thinking, hey, you know what? This guy is living beyond his means. Chances are his DTI is also high, so you have a debt to income ratio. So when you have a CUR and you want to actually have a high limit on your personal credit card that pulls Equifax, you need to really watch your CUR. Okay, you want to really keep it around 30%, like 30%. That's the maximum, so that nothing happens. That you're able to pay your bills on time. You're able to even have enough bandwidth on your FICO score spectrum to know whether or not you can even get a better deal, like a better APR or a higher limit. Boss, the next thing I want you to do here is if you are trying to, let's say you are trying to apply for a credit card that pulls Equifax, and you've done everything. Let's say you have worked on your payment history, right? Your payment history is kind of cool. You know that it's low. You have worked on your CUR, so your credit utilization ratio is it's kind of comfortable. It's kind of decent. Like it ain't something like really crazy. Like normally your DTI should be around same thing at 30%, but it's around 35% or 38%. That's okay. Nothing complicated here. And you are still thinking about ways to increase your Equifax credit score so you can boost your chances, your odds of approval. You want to think about having a diverse range of credit. You want to think about diversifying your credit, your product, what you have in your credit reports, right? So right now, if you have, let's say you have a loan, that's kind of cool. But maybe think about getting a line of credit in addition to a loan, because a loan is by definition a term product, a term credit product. In other words, you're paying every month at specific installment periods. Okay, so everything is approved beforehand. Whereas a line of credit is a revolving line of credit, is a revolving credit product similar to a credit card, and that calls for a different discipline when it comes to handling the payment, when it comes to remembering the payment, when it comes to testing the boundaries of your credit worthiness. Okay, so this is why you want to actually create a diverse range of credit, so you have all kinds of loans on your credit report. So we're talking about, so I spoke about a line of credit, that's fine, but you can also try, who knows, like a mortgage. If you are, let's say you are in a situation in your life where you and your significant other believe that now that you basically just got married and you want to have kids, then having a mortgage, having a property to your name could be a great addition to your assets and to your liabilities also, at least at the beginning. Okay, and this is kind of cool. You can also try to diversify by having student loans if you plan on going back to school and sort of beefing up your skills and your knowledge overall. You can also try to have you can have a lot of things. It really depends on the kind of credit range you're looking for. You can also try to add other stuff that are not really credit products, like your rent or utility payments on your credit reports. That's really fine also. The next thing I want you to do, boss, I'm still having a conversation with you about personal credit cards that pull Equifax, right? We're quickly going through a rundown of all the things you need to do, you need to apply for, you need to implement right now if you are trying to get a high limits. And when we talk about high limits, sometimes we forget that the high limit is only there because it gives us assurance that if we ever need money, we can actually tap into that credit limit and we can solve our problems. But if you're not there, let's say you are financially safe, you are monetarily sound, okay, but you just happen to endure the consequences of something that happened 5 years ago, like where times were not good. You had to file for bankruptcy, or you have to miss the payments. Your account has to be sent to collection. So basically, you are still you're still suffering from the consequences of something that happens a few years ago. So if you are balling right now, monetarily speaking, okay, and you don't have a problem having a secure credit card, you can use it to build credit history. Because if money is not a problem, then you can actually open a secure credit card whereby you just pledge you deposit a certain amount, and the credit card issuer will use that amount that you deposited as your initial limits. Some credit card issuers will give you 80% or 90%. They don't give you the whole amount, and others will give you the whole amount. So it really depends on the credit card issuer, okay? So that's one way to actually to improve your chances of getting your personal credit card that pulls Equifax. And also trying to find a cosigner. Let's say if you have like bad credit, or you have, let's say you have poor credit, you could try to find a cosigner to help you out. And this is something, it's the same thing I was just telling another guy and another family. The last time I went to a wedding, and the same wedding I was at, I was actually talking to the one couple, and I just tell them, listen, if you have a problem in terms of getting a high credit card, a high limit credit card that pulls personal Equifax, you really want to find out whether you can have a cosigner. And if both of y'all, if both the man and woman, the wife and husband, are having crappy credit, then you can actually talk to maybe an in-law who can actually help you. It's all good. All strategies are good in this case. The next thing I want you to do, boss, here is to start building credit early. And it's one of those things when we talk about building credit early. I'm speaking to those of you who are now maybe 18 or 19 or 20. And building credit means maybe that you want to be added as an authorized user, okay? You want to be added like on another person's credit card. That way you can actually use their credit history. You can use their good credit behaviors to improve your own, so that when you're ready to apply for a personal credit card that pulls Equifax, you're able to get approved right away. Okay, and it's really important to understand that when you are added as an authorized user on somebody else's credit card, it is really a favor. I don't care if the person is if the primary cardholder is your mother or your dad or your uncle or aunt or your grandfather or grandmother. It is still a favor that person is doing you by accepting that you actually use their credit cards. And it's really important to understand that if you don't use the credit card responsibly, the primary cardholder is still responsible. They are on the hook for whatever that is that you have generated, that you have caused. Okay, so it's really important to think about that and make the right determination when it comes to your situation. And the last thing I want you to do here is to apply at your bank or credit union. Obviously, your bank or credit union has to pull Equifax for credit cards and loans, okay? But this is easy. This is easy peasy. Just contact them, ask them if they pull Equifax, and if they say yes, then you apply there. If not, that's fine too. We do have a video that actually talks about, the top lenders, the top credit unions who actually pull personal Equifax for loans, okay, and credit cards for that matter. So if you're interested in that video, just drop us in the comment section below, ask us the question, and we'll certainly go in our catalog and we'll find that video and we'll post it so that everybody can actually enjoy it. Okay. And one thing I also want to say here is that it's not really easy for someone to really have like if you are trying to build credit early, but you do not have the right circumstances to build credit early, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so you want to be a little better here, but yeah. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about personal credit card that pulls Equifax. I'm giving you a few hacks that will help you get a high limits credit card the next time you apply. So do not apply for too many credit cards at once. Know what's in your credit reports. You apply for the card that fits your credit score. Pay your bills on time. Watch your CUR. You want to create a diverse range of credit. You want to consider a secure credit card to build credit history. You want to find a cosigner. You want to build credit history early. This is important. And you want to apply at your bank or credit union. Thank you so much. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.